A key thing that I think you keep saying too, that as we pivot a little bit out of people is, yes, like you need people around you, but if you really want to have a profitable business, the systemization is such a huge part here with those processes. And I think I've heard you say that the greatest area of lost opportunity is the systemization in sales in respect to marketing. And that seems to be something where you have figured out how to do that on a level. And if people don't understand why that's so important, it's, as you were saying earlier, data. And I've been somebody who became a data nerd. I still am working on it, but if you are really good at analyzing data and looking at it and creating systems and processes off of the data that you have, I feel like using that from the past is really a key to help you predict the future. And so there's not a guess of is your business going to work. You start to know how many phone calls I have to make, how many people I have to contact, what my budget is, and all that kind of stuff. So although that might not be the sexy stuff to talk about up front, those are the important things that really make or break business owners. So as somebody who admittedly isn't great at that, I always pay for people that have put those together because I feel like my brain isn't capable of creating them, but I can follow the leader very well. So, talk about systems and processes in the business of, I guess, any entrepreneur, but specifically what you've done for impacting the real estate business that you're in.
Yeah, I think before we like lose everybody and their eyes glaze over, right, with systems and processes, it's like dumb it down to ultimately what that is, and it's just creating something that you know how it's being done and you like it. Is like right a system or a process is the how it's done and the tactics of it. And I think that the one of the larger gaps between an entrepreneur and a visionary who doesn't like that stuff, we'll say, is because they feel like it's cumbersome and overwhelming. And sometimes you don't know where to start. Naturally, when building a system and a process is like go through and you do it and you kind of document how you do it. And there's so many cool tools out there now, right? Like I don't even type many emails anymore. It's like I just record a loom for 60 seconds and shoot my message off or scribe or something that builds, right, and follows your mouse and creates a PDF of how to do something for you. It's become you have no excuse not to have some iteration of a document of how something's done. And then, people go through it and you do it, and somebody says, well, that's kind of stupid, or that doesn't work. And what you want to do is create inside of any business, regardless of the size, even if it's yourself, a team of one is like, if you see something, say something mentality where if you do something and it's not good, just change it. So you update the system and the process. And right, it's not this overwhelming thing. It could be a Word document. It could be we run the 7-figure business out of iPhone notes is how we share correspondence amongst our team. And that's how we get information back and forth. And it's right, you check off the things that need done. That's our system and our process of doing it. So one is don't overcomplicate it. Two is if you don't have any data, start gathering it. So just start measuring something. I don't care if it's a notebook, a Google Sheet, again, free. There's a lot of free 99 resources out there. Two is then look back at the data and start making decisions upon it. If you collected information of some sort, right, and then you look back at it and you said, I don't know, like I kind of still feel like this will work, and the data is telling you a different story, you need to eat some humble pie and say, hey, cool, maybe what I thought was good isn't, and this is here. You now have a baseline of something. So now what are you going to do with it? So like iteration one is collect it and have it. Two is look at it and be willing to do something about it. And then how do you improve upon that? And it's just like a workout routine or whatever. You do it once and it's like, okay, that was really hard. I ran a mile. Next time is, okay, I'm going to do this a little bit better, a little bit quicker. And it's not a race to being finished. Systems and processes get refined all of the time. Frankly, the more and the better you get at them, we have foundational Friday meetings where every Friday we pull a process, we run through it collectively as a departmental team, and we say, hey, did that work good or should we change it based upon today's structure, today's market conditions, today's people, how that looks. So we work on them more and more and more. So kind of embrace it, don't overcomplicate it, and start using data to make decisions. If you're not right, unless you have extreme intuition and you're a psychic, but which oftentimes isn't the case. So establish data, use it, and then reiterate from it and get better with it.